Hey guys, Sugar Scott Bulletproof Sauce. I'm just taking a last fun run with this 46 build. I don't know, I have a piece of beetle killed ash here, and you guys have heard me cry over the ash trees before, so I won't do it again. I'm gonna miss those ash trees, best wood in the world. But I have been running it for the last few days with a chain that I'm learning my grinding skills on. I don't know how else to say it, but they're nowhere near what I could do with a hand file. I'm sure I'll get there. I actually got the CBN wheel for the grinder, and I think that's going to help me out quite a bit. It does keep the teeth cooler, whereas the pink wheel seemed to heat them up quicker, and I had to go slower. And you know, I even go so far as to taking a piece of a sponge soaked in water and, you know, pulling the grinder down, dabbing it, pulling it down, dabbing it, just because I'm scared to overheat teeth, because I see so many as a hand filer and filing my chains, other people's chains, everything else. I see so many chains that are just, the teeth are blued, they're hardened, it's a mess. So I'm trying to be real careful. I think the CBN wheel is going to help me out with that, but the chains I've been running on the 46 and the 66 were both 15-degree chains that I did. They were already 15-degree chains from hand filing, and then I was kind of cleaning up the profile, and I was kind of actually proud that some of my hand filing, I was right at 15 degrees on them, which is shocking because sometimes I'll be 20 degrees, 15 degrees, 10 degrees. So generally I don't worry about it so much. I'm just trying to blunt them down for milling saws so they stay sharp a little longer without that sharp chisel edge at the front. Anyhow, this is a regular 30-degree chain that I actually got in a box of junk stuff, but it seemed pretty brand new, so I figured I'd just run it the way it is and get an idea of a different chain, just because it's funny when you're cutting logs like this, noodling. I have a couple problems with it. One, some of my chains like to fill up the clutch cover, and I mean fill it up, and maybe that's fine, but I don't like that added heat built up in there. So maybe I'm a little paranoid about it, I don't know. So you'll see me pulling, you know, chips out of there, and I don't know if the West Coast style clutch, I don't know if the West Coast style clutch cover is the best one to do noodling with. I just don't think it lets the chip, I like the way it directs them, but it also wants to get clogged on me. So what I'll do is I'll just start this up, and I want to make a couple last cuts. Then this saw is going for sale. I've kind of ran it a few tanks through it now just to play with it, because I don't often get a chance to play with the builds. You know, you build the saw, you make a bunch of cuts with it, you test it out, and then you move it on. So it was nice to run a couple tanks through this. I'm going to put this one for sale this week. And I've hesitated in putting it for sale because I wanted to hang on to it. Anyhow, guys, I'll start the saw up and give it a couple warming blips and then just throw it in this ash log. It's a 36-inch bar. I don't know, the log is probably a 42-inch log. Really, I probably should have grabbed the 42-inch bar, and I could have cut this whole thing and noodling it. I just think it's a good way to show you, you know, what our saws are built like, how they perform. It gives you an idea. Granted, it's a brand new saw. Yes, I know the rings aren't seated. Yes, I know it's not fully tuned in. But it still gives you guys an idea of the saws we're building. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me get my headphones in. Because that oil sat outside in 28-degree weather all night, so I figured it was going to be good then. that big pile of noodles is out of my way. Alright, we're still pretty good. Well, I'll make one more cut, guys, just for fun. Maybe I'll roll this off and get one big piece of wood to do something like that. Well, there you have it, guys. Just a way I could bury a 36 into a piece of wood without having any rounds that were over 36 or 40. I have them, but I'm sure not playing around with saws with them. They're going to get milled up for something better than, you know, playing around making fun videos. Anyhow, I don't know. That chain wasn't terrible. It's cutting nice strips, but again, I think you've seen some of my videos before. And granted, it depends on the species of wood, how these strips are going to pull out, how the noodles are going to pull out. Because I know on some of my hand file chains, and I guess I never really thought about it before, you know, I've had them pulling out strips that are, you know, 8-10 inches long. I thought that was a good job of my hand filing, but maybe it was just a function of, I think I've done that in hickory before. And that would have been pig nut hickory, not shagbark. And I don't know if shagbark's any different. Is ash going to be a little bit different? You know, this might be a little bit dry because it was, I'm guessing, looking at the beetle marks on the side standing dead. Then doing the beach the last few days, that's stringy as hell. And that acted a little bit different. So it's just kind of interesting to, I'm not a big noodling guy, but I'm having fun doing it. It's kind of neat. Anyhow, guys, just showing you a 46 build. Ours are a little different than some other folks. We probably poured them a little bit different, and different people build their saws differently. I don't know if you can see, I'm leaning on that 36-inch bar as much as I can to slow down the saw. I don't know what else to show you guys. I thought it was kind of neat. Just a last run before this gets cleaned off for the last time, because that's the other thing. When you run saws that you're selling, you get them dirty and chippy and oil on them and chips on them and dirt and mud and whatever else, and you got to clean them off. And I'll do that sometimes. I'll build the saw, run it, clean it, then get an itch, and I'm going to run that saw again. And then I got to clean it again, and I wind up doing that a bunch. So I'm glad I kept this one around, didn't clean it off in between every time, and now she's done. She could get her final cleaning and then off to her new owner. Anyhow, guys, True Grit Scott Bulletproof Saws. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.